Ever wondered your ML code works in notebooks, but it breaks in production? And what if one Python trick could prevent that? And most of the ML systems rely on this one. And most people do not know about it. So let's start. Welcome back to Geeky Codes, and this is part 5 of our Python trick series. And today's trick is used in real ML production systems at most of the companies. And this is not a beginner gimmick. This is about safe, scalable, predictable ML code. In machine learning production codes, you often need config-driven pipelines and feature flags, model behavior changes without code edits, and most people do this. They define a model name, and then for if model name is equal to train, then they set some learning rate, and then they set different batch size, and if model is in evaluation state, then they set learning rate to be 0.001 and different things. But the problem with this code is that the logic is spread everywhere, and it is also hard to scale, and it is dangerous in production. Very poor design signal in interviews. We can follow a smarter method, that is this. Here I have defined a data class, okay, and we are importing data class from data class, and we are defining data class to be frozen, okay. And then again we are defining a class training config, where I am defining learning rate to be float and batch size as integer. And whenever we are defining a training configuration, we are just putting the learning rates. That means training config is equal to training config 0.001, which is our learning rate, and this is our batch size. And similarly for evaluation, and similarly for production. And once we have defined that, we can just say that like config is equal to train underscore config, and then we can print it. So you can see that this code is very clean, safe, and immutable, and it is also production ready. And how does this trick actually work internally? And this is very important. This data class, this automatically creates three codes: underscore init, underscore represent, and underscore eq. And it is cleaner than dictionaries, and it is also self-documenting. And when we are setting frozen is equal to true, it makes our classes and all the codes immutable, and it also prevents accidental runtime mutation and critical for ML pipelines. For example, if we set config dot learning rate equal to 0.002, if we run this now, then it will throw error because we are mutating, we are changing the learning rate for this training config, okay. So that means this frozen is equal to true makes it immutable. This also prevents silent production bugs. If we talk about real world ML production examples, it can be used in creating feature flags. For example, in this one you have seen that at the data class is getting set as frozen is equal to true, and then we are creating a feature flag, and then we are defining use new model, and then log predictions, and then we are creating a flag out of that, and it is being set as true and then false, and we can print it here, okay. And similarly it is used heavily in A/B test. So if we talk about another use case of this trick is we can use it in model versioning. And you can see here also I have defined at the data class frozen is equal to true, and then again if once I have set the model configuration, that means fraud model and version is 2.3, then we cannot mutate it at the runtime. That is also somewhere we can use our trick, and it is used for clean logging and monitoring. Also, if we talk about another use case of this trick is that we can use it in config driven pipelines, and it can be used in interviews. If you are asked about create training model, where you can set the like learning rate and everything, you can use it. So this is how real world ML pipelines are designed, and this trick is used in several machine learning systems and MLOps pipelines, or maybe feature when we are creating feature flags and config driven architecture, and also for self production, and this can be used for safe production codes, and it is used, and you can tell it in senior level interviews. And if you use this in interview instantly knows you have seen real world production ML. And now I will tell you a bonus pro tip, okay. So when we are using config is equal to LR, and also later when we are working with this one, and then config LR, and this will throw no error. We are not using dictionaries because dictionaries are mutable. If this upgraded your ML thinking, hit the like button and subscribe to Geeky Course and comment part 6 if you want to know more about tricks. Thank you for watching and see you in next video.